Merhabalar sevgili Diren Sanat takipçileri. Bugün böyle güzel tarihi bir mekandayız. Avusturya Kültür Ofisi'ndeyiz. Avusturya Kültür Ofisi geçtiğimiz gün ünlü Fransız piyanist Matthieu Esnult'u ağırladı. Biz de onun konserine katıldık ve bugün aramızda onunla birlikte müzik yolculuğunu konuşacağız. Sevgili Matthieu, hoş geldiniz.
Thank you very much for your invitation.
Dün son derece güzel bir konser dinledik. Oldukça başarılıydınız. Sizin de parmaklarınıza sağlık.
Thank you so much.
Röportajın başlangıcında Fransız müzisyen dedim ama siz İngiltere'de yaşıyorsunuz şimdi ve dedeniz de Tunus kökenli, yine başarılı bir müzisyen. Müzik yeteneğinizi dedenizden mi aldınız?
Yes, so in my house there was always a lot of music. My grandfather had founded a big festival, piano festival in Tunisia, and so I really grew up going to concerts and having a passion for music already. He was inviting artists like Richter, Sanson François, Maurice Béjart, but for me it was inspiration already from a young age.
Peki piyanoyu ilk gördüğünüz anı hatırlıyor musunuz? Çocukluğunuzda ilk piyanoyla karşılaştığınız an.
Yes, I went to some piano concert when I was quite young. It was very impressive to me to see a big piano on the stage, and such with a very refined sound. So very interesting because massive instrument but very elegant sound. And also I loved orchestral music. I think particularly the Fauré Requiem. My mother was always listening because she's an artist, so she was always sculpting while listening Fauré Requiem. So this piece really was touching me.
Şimdi Avusturya Kültür Ofisi'nde konserinizin teması da müzik ve hayaller temasıydı. Sizi bu müzik ve hayalleri seçmenizde iten etken ne oldu o temayı belirlerken?
Yes, so I think music express the highest vibrations of human beings, and with music we can really express our dreams, we can express our past, we can express so many things that are connected to us. I love the relationship we have to, when you read Proust, he talks a lot about the Vinteuil phrase, how music reminds him of past and of moments of love, moments of sorrow.
Peki şunu da merak ediyorum. Yani bir piyanist hani seyircilerin karşısına çıkıyor. İlk piyanonun tuşuna dokunacağı zaman o ilk heyecanınızda ne hissedersiniz?
Yes, I would say the first note is always extremely important, and very often you enter in a different world. But I would say very often it's like a different world of a composer. So if you begin with Chopin, I am in the world of Chopin. Or if you begin with Liszt, you are in the atmosphere of Liszt, a very different atmosphere. And I really love at the beginning of a concert, you can really have a connection between the public and the pianist, and you can really vibrate together. You can be in connection, and sometimes nothing happens, or sometimes you can feel every concert is different, and you have a very good relationship, interesting relationship.
Peki yanlış çalarımın korkusu var mı?
Well, it's interesting because when I go to the concert, I like the wrong notes because someone like Cortot, for instance, it was not perfect playing, like a few wrong notes, but so much emotion. And this is so important because sometimes some pianists, it's like all the notes are there, but no emotions.
Evet. Az önce bahsetmiştiniz. Sizin müzik yolculuğunuzda, müzik yeteneğinizin gelişmesinde en çok anneniz etkili oldu. Annenizin dışında sizi bu yolculuğa çıkmanıza en etkin rol oynayan kimler oldu?
So I began to play the piano at 6, but it's really when I was 12, 13, I changed a piano teacher, and my new piano teacher made me discover the music of Chopin. And when I discovered Chopin, I really began to love the piano and to play it every day, much and much more. Because I felt very connected to his atmosphere, and I really like his music. Is like a lot of poetry, and it's very magical. It's you always have something happening in Chopin. When I was 17, 18, I studied literature and philosophy in Paris, because I also loved I loved literature. I love reading, so I did classical studies, and it's only when I was like 21 that I met a great piano teacher from Russia, who was a pupil of Isaac Katz, who was himself a pupil of Goldenweiser, who was pupil of Liszt, and like a big Russian school. And I really loved meeting him, because he was my teacher for many, many years. And with him, I really began to play in big concert halls and to start a career.
Şimdi şöyle, çoğu müzisyen önce bir eğitmenin etkisi altında kalırlar ve ister istemez eğiticilerinin yeteneklerini ya da özelliklerini taşırlar. Rus piyanistin de sizin üzerinize etkisi olmuş. Onun etkisinden çıkıp ben kendi tarzımı yakalayacağım dediğiniz yer neresiydi?
I think during all your life, it's good to have feedback, because it's hard to, sometimes it's hard to think, oh, how this sounds. So all your life, I think we have different teachers, but it could be also just the friends. I have some pianist colleagues. Sometimes we listen to each other. It's always nice, because I think we are, at the same time, we are always evolving, but at the same time, we always have our own sound. Even when we listen to recordings, in a way, it's kind of teachers, or it's a way of being like, we listen, we get a bit influenced, but at the same time, we have our own sound. And this, I think it's a fascinating question. And I was studying this question a little bit. It's like, why, when you see two paintings by Monet, by Van Gogh, you can say in 5 seconds, oh, this is Monet, this is Van Gogh. And why, when you listen to two pianists, Richter, Argerich, in 5 seconds you can say, this is the sound of Richter, this is the sound of Argerich.
O zaman dönemlerin farklılığı da mı etkili oluyor? Yani farklı dönemler, farklı yaşanmışlıklar, dolayısıyla duygular üzerinde de farklı etkiler oluşturmuş oluyor. Bu da yine sanatçının farklı olmasını mı sağlıyor?
Yes.
Peki ben şunun gibi çalmak istiyorum ya da şöyle bir tarzda müzik yapmak istiyorum dediğiniz bir kişi veya bir tarz var mı?
Oh, I have a lot of pianists that I love. I love pianists like Horowitz. I think he was a legend. Arao, Gilels, Richter, Sanson-François. So many, so many.
Bayağı var.
And I would say, depending on the repertoire, I like different pianists.
Evet. Şimdi biz Avusturya Kültür Ofisi'nin bu tarihi salonunda konserinizi dinledik. Size mesela konser teklifleri geldiği zaman bir salonu seçerken kriterleriniz var mıdır?
I love playing in original places. I've been playing in very, very different places. I've been playing in Tahiti. I've been playing in South Africa. I've been playing in India. I think music should be for everyone, and of course, playing in a place like that is wonderful, because it's intimate, but it's glorious and it's beautiful. I would love to play in the top of the Himalaya.
Himalaya dağları.
Yes, or by the sea, or on
Bizde nem
a
miktarı
balloon,
var.
on a plane, or in the space.
Ama ne yazık ki enstrümanınız piyano, taşımak zor olacak.
True.
Peki gelelim şimdi, özgün bir şey yaratmak istiyorsunuz müziğinizle ama çaldığınız notalar sizden önce yüzlerce, binlerce kişinin çaldığı notalar. Aynı notaları kullanarak çok farklı bir tınıyı yakalamayı nasıl başarıyorsunuz?
I think it's really depends on all your experience, all your personal life, and I think all our life as a musician we look for to maybe to the sound we hear inside. All our life we have this inner sound and we want to play it like we hear the piece, and all our life there is a evolution in our life. If we are happy, it's very connected to the emotions and how we feel.
Peki bu benim mesleğim, ben artık bir piyanistim dediğiniz zamanı hatırlıyor musunuz?
So when I was teenager, I was considering being a pianist, but I was not sure. It's really at 21 years old that I decided I want to do piano as my profession, because I love being on stage. I love the connection with the public. It's really it's my drug.
Peki gelelim çok biraz böyle can alıcı bir soru. Şimdi her piyanistin ideali dünya çapında bir sanatçı olup bir ülkeden diğerine koşmak ve dünya çapında bir star olabilmek. Tabii ki bunun bedelleri de biraz ağır. Aileden, aşklarından, dostlarından, ülkenden ayrılacaksınız ve hep bir yerlerde insanlarla kurduğunuz ilişkiler yarım kalacak. Böyle bir bedeli ödemeye hazır mısınız? Bunun risklerini düşündünüz mü?
It's a hard life. No, I mean, of course, yes. It's a lot of sacrifices, but a lot of pleasure as well, because you always meet wonderful people. You always have. Yes, I love when I play a concert, and like yesterday, someone came to me after the concert and told me he cried during the Ravel because it was reminiscent of his past. So this, I love it when the public likes the concert.
Peki o zaman bir piyanist hayatındaki aşkları, tutkuları, o dramlar hep piyanonun tuşlarında mı yaşar? O müziğin ritminde mi yaşar?
Yes, I think so. But I think we always have to remember that there is the composer who really delivers his message, and then the interpret is the medium. But of course, the interpret has his own emotions, so it's always a mix of the emotions come from the composer, the emotions come from the interpret. It's like an actor in the theater. You have the writer behind, but then you have the emotions of the actor, and it's always something interesting between public, writer and actor. Public, composer, interpret, pianist.
Peki piyano dışında çaldığınız bir enstrüman var mı?
No. Piano is enough.
Peki şimdi biraz komik bir soru sormak istiyorum. Ev davetlerine gittiğiniz zaman diyelim arkadaş buluşmalarına gidiyorsunuz ve gittiğiniz yerde bir piyano var. Hemen size çalar mısın diyenler oluyor mu, böyle şeylerle karşılaşıyor musunuz?
Yes, it happens to me all the time. If I had a few drinks, then no.
Peki mesela konser kazalarınız oluyor mu? Notaların kaybolduğu, piyanonun bozulduğu, tam böyle sahneye çıkacakken.
Yes, in China, sometimes once I had a piano that was like very small for a 5,000 seat hall. So I was like,
Ne yaptınız?
this is not possible. So it was way too small. It was minuscule, and the hall was big, and I didn't know what to do. So they amplified, but It was, yeah, it was not powerful enough. So it's easier when you are a violinist because you bring your instrument. Sometimes also in some concert halls, I had some broken note. It happened to me to have a broken note. Too much.
Güzel. Peki en çok hangi enstrümanlarla sahnede olmayı seversiniz, istersiniz?
I love playing with violin. I do quite a lot also of four hands, two pianists on one piano. It's quite fun, and I love playing with singers. I think the sound of the violin and the sound of the voice, it's very beautiful.
Peki sizin için sanat hayatının zirvesi diyebileceğiniz bir konseri hayal etseniz nasıl bir konser olur?
Oh, I've had some very good memories in Carnegie Hall. This was really great memories. And I had great memories in London, the South Bank Centre, because it was for the beginning of the Olympic Games, and I was playing with orchestra, and it's when you have a full hall, it's always like your heart is boom, boom, boom, boom. So it was great memories. And it's interesting because sometimes I find much easier to perform in a big hall full than to perform in a small hall not full, because you are really supported by the public. You feel them and they clap, so it's easy.
Şimdi bu doğrultuda şunu sormak istiyorum. Dünyanın en kalabalık salonunda mı konser vermeyi tercih edersiniz, yoksa hayatınızın aşkına sadece bir kişiye mi konser vereceksiniz? Böyle bir seçim yapma şansınız olsa.
It's a hard choice. It's a hard choice. I will do both.
Peki sanat dallarından hangisiyle çalışmak istersiniz? Sahne sanatlarıyla birlikte çalışacak olsanız sinema, tiyatro, opera, bunların hangileriyle birlikte iş yapmak istersiniz?
I love many types of collaboration. I love playing with dancers. I love dance. I go very often to the ballet. I love, of course, collaborations with opera singers. Like opera is my passion. I go all the time, and yes, I've had some very interesting collaborations with composers, with music a bit less classical and a bit different, and it was always a very rich experience. So I'm always up for new collaboration.
Şimdi gelelim hayatınızda piyanodan kaçmak istediğiniz, tuşlarına dokunmak istemiyorum deyip müziğinize küstüğünüz bir an oldu mu?
No, because even when I feel sad or when I'm not in a good mood, generally when I play the piano, then it makes me happier. It's really my relationship.
Peki bugüne kadar böyle en ilginç dinleyici tepkisi ne oldu konserlerde mesela?
Well, I had a lot of people crying, and yes, I didn't have any heart attack.
Peki bir piyanistin en özel egzersizleri neler?
I do some meditation, and I do some qigong. It's Chinese meditation, and for me it's very good to be centered and to be in a good state of mind before a concert, because we are really connected, body and mind. So for me it's very good to do this kind of meditation.
Şimdi şu soruyu da sormadan edemeyeceğim. Şimdi elbette ki 2 yıllık bir pandemi sürecini geride bıraktık. Bütün dünya zor bir dönem yaşadı. Ve bizim ülkemizde de Türkiye'de klasik müzik sanatçıları özellikle çok zor durumda kaldı. Çünkü konser verilemediği zaman işsiz kaldılar. Hayat mücadeleleri daha da zorlaştı. Fransa ve İngiltere'de klasik müzik sanatçıları gözlemlediğiniz kadarıyla onlar bu süreci nasıl atlattılar? Çok çetin mi oldu? Devlet desteği mi aldılar? O süreçte nelere tanık oldunuz siz?
Well, for me it was really sad and hard time. But yeah, the situation was not better in the UK. I have a friend who is a concert pianist, and he began to work in a supermarket to live. The situation was not easy. I would say like financially, but also psychologically, because when you are used to be on stage all the time, it's not easy. I was fortunate to still yes, I had some time to do other things. I was doing like some collaboration with some composers. I did some recordings, but still it's very different recording and live music.
Evet.
It was a very dark time for the art, but I hope the future will be better.
Evet, şimdi gelelim müzikle dünyaya bir mesaj bırakacak olsanız hangi parçayı çalmak istersiniz ve nasıl bir mesaj bırakırsınız?
Well, right now, because we are in sad times, I would say a message of peace, but also a message of love and of beauty. I think I've always been fascinated by beauty, and maybe yes, a piece by Chopin for me, a nocturne by Chopin. It's like a good representation of beauty. But it could be one of my pieces as well. I am trying to compose a bit more, so it could be one of my pieces.
Elbette. Peki çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Öncelikle Avusturya Kültür Ofisi'ne teşekkür ediyoruz. Matthieu Esnult'a teşekkür ediyoruz. Güzel vaktini bizimle birlikte paylaştığı için.
Thanks to you for your welcome.
Evet sevgili takipçilerimiz, geldik röportajımızın sonuna. Bu röportajın gerçekleşmesinde bize destek olan Avusturya Kültür Ofisi'ne çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Ayrıca da Kam Management Osman Bey'e de çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Hepinize sağlıklı, güzel günler diliyoruz. Hayata sanatla direnin, Diren Sanat'ı takip etmeyi unutmayın.